Well, and even as the Congress cries conspiracy over Sanjay Baru's book, the former media advisor to the Prime Minister stands his ground. In an exclusive interview with Headlines Today's Karan Thapar, Sanjay Baru defended his book and said that Manmohan Singh is the weakest Prime Minister the country ever had.
Now, in your book, you say at one point, I was dismayed by the PM's display of spinelessness. It brought to my mind that term that Mr. Advani has repeatedly used. Dr. Manmohan Singh is the weakest Prime Minister India has ever had.
Well, I don't know if I would call him weakest, because I do think that earlier Prime Ministers like Gowda and Gujral also had very limited freedom to act as Prime
Rule
Ministers.
those out. What about full-term Prime Ministers?
Well, I think he was certainly the weakest full-term Prime Minister.
The weakest full-term Prime Minister. Here was a man who at times was using his self-effacing character to continue in office. And that actually, let's use a euphemism, staying in office became important for him. Did he lose respect in your eyes at that point?
In UPA 2, yes. In UPA 1, I don't think I saw him as someone who wanted to stay in office. I think he wanted to make a success of his government. He was obsessed about ensuring that the Congress could lead a coalition government through its entire term.
But in UPA 2...
But in UPA 2, you get the impression that, he just was not willing to put his foot down and say, enough is enough.
In UPA 2, he just wanted to continue in office and complete the term. He wanted to complete the term, and that became a priority.
That's the impression. I mean, I'm an outsider for UPA 2 as much as you are. So, but the impression from the outside is that.
And that's the point at which he diminished in your eyes.
Yeah.
You lost respect for him.
Yeah.
You're saying yes.
Yes, I mean, I think I've said in the book that when he did not quit after the way in which Rahul Gandhi treated him, I did lose respect.
You agonized over several bits of the book, but at the end of the day, you've included them all. And the PMO says that you are exploiting access for commercial gain. In other words, filthy lucre has been your motivation.
Karan, writing memoirs by people in public life is an old tradition. Even in India, I mean, P.C. Alexander was secretary to Indira Gandhi, wrote a book. Natwar Singh has written recently a book. Lots of retired civil servants have written their memoirs. But in the West, it's very common. But Robert Gates, the defense secretary of Obama, just recently wrote a book after having been defense secretary of the US, right? So people in government writing books which educate the public at large about the way in which government functions at the highest levels is a glorious tradition, and I don't see it as going after filthy lucre. For heaven's sake, I don't need that money.
Has this book cost you a close relationship with Dr. Manmohan Singh?
In the short run, yes. In the long run, I hope not. I hope when he rereads his book in the solitude of his retirement home, he will realize that actually this is the strongest defense anyone has offered till today of the Prime Ministership of Manmohan Singh.
There's just about a month to go when he moves into his retirement home. At that point, will Sanjay Baru, the individual who looked upon Manmohan Singh as a mentor, make some small attempt to reach out to him, to bridge the chasm that may have opened up with this?
I've already made an attempt. I've sought to see him once he's finished reading the book. I'll wait for him to call me, and I'll explain to him what were the ideas that went into the book. It's up to
But
him.
you're going to wait for the phone to ring. You won't ring yourself.
No, I've sought an appointment, so I'll wait for the phone to ring.